Oh, yes. We in the building. We in the building, ladies and gentlemen. We in the building. All right. All right. 1 minute before 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. We out here tripping now today, y'all. We are out here tripping this morning. Oh, yes. It's me. There's many other like me, but this me is mine. Oh, yes. Y'all hear that hand rub? Y'all hear that hand rub? Y'all hear that? Y'all hear that? See, if we had if we had like Cumulus money or Sirius XM money right now, the song "Microphone" by Slaughterhouse would be playing. If we had it, if we had that level of dough, you know what I mean? Like if we had that right now, that's what we'd be playing. But since we don't have that, that's not what's playing. Yeah, you're not gonna get us sued. It is 8 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 a.m. Central, and welcome to the Sound of Coffee. My name is Thomas Bishop. I'm good looking. I know it. And so do you. Oh my God. Welcome to another video and audio extravaganza. Brought to you in part by Glitterwix. Go to glitterwix.com and check out Villainous, the hottest, newest, freshest scent in candles on these streets. Villainous is inspired by yours truly, Thomas the Villain Bishop. Yes, go over there. Take a look. I think it's about 18 bucks, if I'm not mistaken. Villainous is about 18 bucks. And wait till I get myself a candle. Because it's on its way, kids. Oh my God, I'm going to have my own candle in the room. It's going to smell so great. That's right, y'all. So, like I said, go to Villainous. I'm not Villainous. Go to glitterwix.com and check out Villainous. Hottest, newest, freshest scent in candles. This morning, I am, as I am until my wife lets me buy some other stuff, I am sipping and drinking on Starbucks French Roast Dark. Quite delicious, too. And I am drinking it out of my Buddha cup. Which, by the way, I got this cup at like a gas station on the way to my current home. You know, just one of them side of the road gas stations, like the truck stop type gas stations. Yeah, I got this there. It's the craziest thing, man. It wasn't a like a big, huge, super duper purchase. I just liked it. And then I picked it up and boom. I've had it ever since. So, yes, when I tell people I am drinking out of my Buddha cup, I come in peace. That's exactly what I mean. I am drinking out of my Buddha cup and I am trying to come in peace. If you would like to advertise with GCPR, reach out to myself or other members of the team at ghostclawprod at gmail.com. That is all one word, ghostclawprod at gmail.com. Yeah, we'll advertise pretty much anything. Almost anything. Like, I will do a grinder ad, but it's going to be the funniest grinder ad you ever heard in your life. And I don't know if y'all are ready for that. So, Kamala Harris is out in these streets collecting all the dough. She is out here like Biggie and Jay-Z. She loved the dough. She is out here doing the doing. You know what I mean? She's out here doing that thing. And the reason I can say that is because 40,000 black women got together the night after Joe Biden stepped down and announced that Kamala Harris was going to be, or he's endorsing Kamala Harris. 40,000 black women got together and raised 1.8 million with an M dollars for her campaign. Roland Martin and Bakari Sellers had a Zoom last night to try to match that. I did try to get in. I did try to get into the Zoom and was not able to do so. It was PZACT, apparently. So we'll know those numbers later on today. In addition, in small dollar donations, just after the announcement of Joe Biden endorsing Kamala Harris, in small dollar donations, she raised some $81 million. So, and we're starting to notice that the governors of Oregon, I believe the governor of Kentucky, I'm not sure, Michigan and other different states that they would call quote unquote blue states are now lining up behind Kamala Harris. So it looks like, unless the donor class says otherwise, it looks like Kamala Harris is going to get the nomination for President of the United States. Now, I've said on this show many times, I've said in TikTok videos many times, I am not voting for either political party. I am voting against Project 2024. Yeah. That still has not changed. There is no change in that. There is still no change in that. You know, and I'm good with my avatar against Project 2025 and Agenda 47 being whoever is not going to let that happen. As an American citizen, I am going to vote in this next campaign. I vote in every election because I'm an American citizen. It is my responsibility to do so. However, I do not fantasize or infantasize or drool over my candidates. These people are applying for a job. This is what I keep trying to empower all Americans to do. Okay, this is what I keep trying to empower them to do. I am hiring someone for a damn job. Every election cycle, we have a bunch of people come out with their resumes. Okay. This year, all 435 congressional seats are up for grabs. Let me say that one more time. This year, all 435 congressional seats are up for grabs. That means if you don't like Marjorie Taylor Greene, this might be the year to get rid of her ass. This might be the year. Might be the year. If you are not a fan of Beetlejuice Handjob Boebert, this might be the year to get rid of her ass. Colorado, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you. Yes, I can see what you're doing over there in the corner. I'm looking at you. This might be the year to get rid of Matt Gaetz with his airbrush pedophile ass. This is the year, kids. This is the year. You can do it. Like, I feel like Rob Schneider in The Waterboy. Yes, in total, she's raised somewhere, Kamala Harris has raised somewhere in the neighborhood of $100 million. Like, dead ass. Like, dead ass. But this is the year for you to put your big boy and big girl panties on and stop worshiping politicians and hire a person to do a damn job. That is what you are supposed to do. It is your responsibility to vote. It's not a privilege. It's not a privilege you should take lightly. It is your responsibility as an American citizen. How do you want this country to look? How do you want this country to run? This is why our politicians are able to get away with half the bullshit that they do, because they realize that people do not pay any attention. Some of y'all pay more attention to cooking shows, competitions on cooking shows, than you do your own politics here in America. I cannot remember that young man who came up with the rap song, but it was one of the most I haven't had enough coffee, so if y'all gonna get these fumbles. Incitive videos I've ever seen. because it told y'all, it broke it all the way down for y'all. When Obama won, 2 years later, you were supposed to come back and vote for people to help him with his agenda. But when it didn't happen, and a lot of people didn't show up at the midterms and things of that nature, all of a sudden, everybody's blaming Obama. American apathy pisses me off. I'll be the first person to say it. American apathy absolutely makes me, it makes me cringe. American apathy, it sickens me. You know, it absolutely sickens me the way American apathy is. It's disgusting. Because all it seems to do is inspire people not to do any damn work. But they want instant gratification. They want these things done for them. But they're not willing to put in the work to do them. So this year is your year. And like I said, Project 2025 is out there. You can Google Project 2025, and you can not only get Project 2025, it's there. The Heritage Foundation is literally putting it on, they put it on online for you to read. So there is no excuse for you not to read this. None. You have no damn excuse. None whatsoever. But a lot of people will just blow this off. Both parties, listen, I get it. Both parties are dog shit. I absolutely understand that. I do. I'll be the first person to say it. They are dog shit. But it doesn't mean democracy is not worth saving. And watch, there'll be somebody in the comments someplace who'll go, America's not a democracy, it's a constitutional republic. The only reason some of y'all call it a constitutional republic is because the word republic is in it and you're a Republican. Please don't act like I'm stupid. Please, in the name of everything that is holy, don't act like I'm stupid. Before I go any further, hello, Joquita and Leticia and Donnie over on YouTube. What up? Nathan Whitaker, a.k.a. the generalist of the Gambitist, General Gambit, co-host of a lot of things here on GCPR. Like, if y'all understood how hard Gambit works, it would shock you. He is our voiceover guy. He's also the host of at least 2 shows on there, and I'm trying to get him on a 3rd. But you know, it is what it is. All of the people over there following me on Instagram and watching this morning. Good morning. Good morning. Please tell me you have your coffee in hand. Please tell me. So, again, stop looking. America's biggest problem is we like personality contests. I don't. I have never liked personality contests. Give me some substance. Give me some substance. I have never been the person that liked personality contests. I never have. In my dating life, I wasn't cool with the guy or any woman that would just, oh, look at my body, look at my face, look at my body, blah blah blah. What else do you have? What are your personal beliefs? What do you stand for? What is it exactly that you want to see accomplished in this world? What is your outlook on relationships? What is your outlook on having children or not having children and the things of that nature? Give me some substance. Give me some food. Don't give me the, oh, look, I have big boobs and a fat ass. I don't care. I don't care. Give me more than that. I need more. I need more. What do you stand for? You know what I'm saying? And that's what Americans' biggest problem is. We deal in personality rather than we deal in substance. For example, and it happened all the last week, look at the Republican National Convention. Look at the Republican National Convention. The Republican National Convention was full of nothing but spectacle. No substance. No substance. If you notice, the Heritage Foundation didn't speak. Now, did they? Cat's out of the bag with them. Cat's out of the bag. They can't come up and say, hi, I'm Kevin Roberts with the Heritage Foundation, the authors and purveyors of Project 2025, which is going to fundamentally shape your life in a way that we're giving all the power to this orange idiot over here. No, you can't sell, you cannot sell ad dollars on that. Ain't nobody trying to watch that. Ain't nobody trying to watch that. But you got some Kid Rock, you got Amber Rose, you got Hulk Hogan doing the same Hulk Hogan shit he was doing when I was a kid. And then you had Donald Trump go up there. He had a script. Didn't follow it. And the media, which I'm going to talk about the media in a few minutes, but the media did not hold him to any sort of standard whatsoever. It wasn't like the media said, hey, we gotta fact check a lot of the stuff that came out in this speech. The media is not going to do that. I'm going to tell y'all right now. The American media is going to give is trying to repeat 2016. They're going to give this man billions of dollars in free advertisement. We're going to see a lot more. And here's an empty podium before Donald Trump and J.D. Vance get a chance to speak about sandwich meat. You're going to see it again. Get prepared for it. One of the guiding principles of this radio station is we want substance. Diversity is our strength here at GCPR. So we're going to give you not what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. We're going to do that. That is one of our goals. That is one of our guiding principles here at GCPR. So while others are talking about empty podiums with Donald Trump getting ready to say something about sandwich meat, and then he gets up there and he talks about everything except sandwich meat, including his felonies, the Justice Department, Sleepy Joe, Hunter's laptop, lock her up, whatever. Here over at GCPR, we are going to tell y'all, this is not presidential. This does not sound presidential. This is in no way, shape, form, or fashion acting presidential. This is not a presidential thing. What this is a lot of spectacle over substance. And that's what bothers the Trump campaign when it comes to Kamala Harris. If you look at it, if you've been over on Truth Social, and I don't know why you would do that, but if you've been over on Truth Social ever since the announcement of Joe Biden stepping or not seeking re-election and him endorsing Kamala Harris, former President Donald Trump has been spiraling. He has been spiraling. He is over there losing his ever-loving damn mind. Some of the things that he is saying are just, they're egregious. Like, I can't even believe that he's even saying half the stuff that he's saying, which is kind of ridiculous because this man is a former president of the United States. Former president of the United States is over there literally saying a bunch of stuff and acting a certain way because he now realizes none of the stuff he had prepared for Joe Biden is going to work. Again, the media won't tell you this. The media will still sit and they will sit and bash Joe Biden for having one bad debate and talking about, oh, well, guess what? Now Donald Trump is the oldest person ever to run for president of the United States. The same level of scrutiny should happen to him. It's as simple as that. The same level of scrutiny should happen to him. Same level. Same thing y'all did with Joe Biden now should be done to Donald Trump. We know it won't happen, but that is what's happening. That is a truthful situation. Donald Trump is spiraling badly because he was not prepared. Because Kamala is a wild card. None of the Sleepy Joe jokes are going to work when it comes to talking about that man or that woman. It's not going to work. None of it is going to work. So exactly how is it How can he beat him? How can he beat him? And again, like I said, I am not rooting for either political party. I'm rooting against Project 2025. That is what I'm rooting against. Something else the American mainstream media, with the exception of Joy-Ann Reid, Joy-Ann Reid did an in-depth hour-long conversation on her show about Project 2025. Meanwhile, her colleagues on MSNBC were all talking about Joe Biden's dementia, age, his feebleness, and things of that nature. That shows you that the mainstream media is not going to hold Donald Trump to the same standards that they would hold Kamala Harris. Because now the questions are going to be, is America ready for a woman president? We've had this happen before. Women have been running for president since Shirley Chisholm. So that enough of that. Nobody wants to hear that either. They don't want to hear that either. We know a woman is capable of doing the job. We understand that. So there's a conversation that does not need to be had. But they're not going to put the same level of scrutiny into Donald Trump as they should, of him being old, him being feeble, him having all of the visual things, visual cues of somebody who is suffering from dementia. Not to mention his 34 felonies. 34 felonies, ladies and gentlemen. Donald Trump is a convicted felon. In September, he's supposed to be sentenced, but I'm pretty sure the judge pushed it back because it was supposed to be the week of the Republican National Convention. And they pushed it back to September. Of course they did. And I'm pretty sure the judge, once the time comes to actually sentence this man, will try to push it back again, just in case he wins the presidency. Oh, and by the way, there are people within the Republican Party that are trying to pass a law that makes state charges and state convictions become federal laws and federal convictions. Why? Because you can pardon yourself from a federal law. Donald Trump becomes president of the United States. They successfully turned the charges that he had in New York and the charges he had in Georgia into federal cases. Guess what Donald Trump is able to do? Pardon himself. So once again, these people are not stupid. They're not stealth. They're doing these things in your face. Like I said, all congressional seats are up for grabs this election. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, you can have some really, really deep issues with the candidates. I do. I do not like the centrism of the Democratic Party. I do not like the fact that the Republican Party has completely, wholly been consumed by the worst of corporate interests and the white supremacists and racists that now inhabit the party. I can say that out loud. And if you want to call me a one-issue voter, you're absolutely right. My one issue is destroying and stopping Project 2025 and Agenda 47. I am a one-issue voter. That's my one issue. Stopping Project 2025 and Agenda 47. You want to call me a one-issue voter? Okay. Because that one issue encompasses so many different things. But this is where the American populace has to be smarter about what they're going to do with their vote. Number one, not voting is not an option. I am a black man in America. Okay? I understand that voting rights for African Americans were hard fought. I understand that legacy. Every time I go into a voting booth, I realize that I am doing something that people, my elders before me, they had their heads split open. They were attacked by dogs. They were attacked by water hoses. I understand the awesome responsibility that has been given to me because I am a black man in America. I do not take my vote for granted. Now, do I think voting is going to solve everything? No, because there has to be, we have got to restructure and reimagine what America is. Government is not the problem, nor is government the solution. Government is the bridge. the bridge between the business interests and the people. Okay? That's how I've always looked at it. Government is the thing that tells business, you cannot use these people and work them to death. You cannot work them to death to make your profits. Government tells the people, okay, by your hard work, we are going to use this money to do things, to improve the nation, improve your roads, improve your bridges, improve your dams. We are going to do things that are going to help to improve your community. However, you are going to have to put in the work to actually get those things done. We're trying to make a partnership between business, government, and the people to actually improve your lot in life. That is how I have always looked at business. I looked at the government. It is not a solution, nor is it a problem. The problem with American is, on one hand, people believe that the government is in the way and it should get out the way. Then what kind of nation would you have if you had no government structure? Okay? What would you have? And number two, a lot of Americans take the idea of voting for granted. It is your civic duty as an American citizen to do so. It is your civic duty as an American citizen to do so. You have a responsibility. As a black man in America, I understand I have a responsibility. And I owe a debt to those who fought and bled, and some of them died for me to be able to walk into a voting booth and have my vote counted. It is my responsibility, and I do not take that for granted. But a lot of Americans do. And this is why we end up with the government that we end up with. I say all the time, America gets the government it deserves. If you are lazy and don't want to do the work, don't want to do the legwork, don't want to do any of the education that you need before you get ready to hire a person, whether they're Republican, Democrat, Independent, Whig, Constitutionalist, Socialist, or what have you. If you are lazy, you cannot complain 2 years later when your life is a little bit worse. Oh my God, I elected Obama and my life didn't all of a sudden become better. Did you do any of the legwork to put people in place that were going to help Obama? Of course you didn't. Of course you didn't. And then on the other hand, you have Republicans saying the government's the problem, the government's the problem. Then why do y'all want to run it? Why do y'all want to put your people in place? Why are we having an election with a guy who has 34 felonies and is in the Jeffrey Epstein documentation for president of the United States? If government is so bad, why do you want this idiot to run it? America gets the government we deserve. There are 435 congressional seats up for grabs this election cycle. There are down ballot initiatives that people do not know about. Your local elections matter. Your state elections matter. Who sits in your government, in your governor's office or your government's mansion matters just as much as who sits in the White House. A lot of you do not know this. A lot of you will not take the time or the effort to actually do this. You need to know. Some of you don't even know who your governor is. I said what I said. Some of you do not even know who your governor is. Some of you have no idea who your state congressman is. You have no idea who is your district congressional U.S. congressional person. Some of you don't. Some of you don't. And that is on you. That is a shame to you. To you. Some of you do not know who it is that is in charge of your life. But you know the latest Taylor Swift song. I bet every one of you went out there and bought or downloaded The Death of Slim Shady, but even Eminem is trying to tell you, you need to pay attention. Taylor Swift is telling you, you need to pay attention. And some of you are looking at it from a standpoint of, oh, well, that's too much work, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to do it. They're both corrupt, this, that, and the third. They're only getting away with being corrupt because you are not doing your part in this. Government only works when the people make it work. It is your civic duty. It is your civic responsibility. The reason evangelical Christian conservatives have been creeping into our government is because a lot of you are apathetic about said government. This is your responsibility. I know every single time I vote, I am standing up and I am making my voice heard in the voting booth because I know there were so many black men and women who could not. I know that during Jim Crow, there was poll taxes where black men and women had to come up with money to vote. There was the grandfather clause that if your grandfather didn't vote, that you couldn't vote. I know windows were smashed out and crosses were burned in people's yards, black folks' yards, to intimidate them into not voting or voting a certain way. I know this. So it is my responsibility and the debt that I owe to those people to vote, to be educated about what I vote for, who I vote for, to be educated about the initiatives that could affect me and my family. Some of y'all don't do that, but your ass know the latest TikTok dance craze, and then you complain about, oh well, you know, they ain't gonna do nothing anyway. They ain't gonna help you. Why would you say that when you're not even participating in the system in the first place? Please understand that. You can't complain about something you're not participating in the first place. Which brings me to our American news media. There is no such thing as left-leaning news. There is who, what, where, when, why. Okay? If there is a house fire, and I love using this analogy. If there is a house fire, somebody starts a fire, the firefighters show up, they put the fire out, 3 people die. There is no there is no left lean or right lean to that. There isn't. It's a house fire. And if the media comes on and tells you the who, what, where, when, why of this house fire, then you've gotten all the information that you need. All of it. But if you get a person, a Sean Hannity type or a Rachel Maddow type, that comes in and tries to tell you the left lean or right lean bent of that house fire, and you still listen to them, you're a damn idiot. You are a damn idiot. Because the American news media is not left leaning, it is corporate owned. It is corporate operated. It is about profits over truth. One of the best things about this radio station is the fact that we, and that is every single person that has, every show host on this radio station, gets a chance, whether it's once a night, every night, every 2 weeks, whatever. Yes, we do bring you entertainment. Don't get me wrong. I have a morning show where I get to mix factual information, jokes, music, whatever the hell I choose to do. But you already know the moment you hear my voice that everything I am telling you is true. And I have Google sitting in front of me. I am making this off of my computer so I can look up things if I need to. Our American news media does not do that. It does not. And unfortunately and sadly, that is every single news organization. Yes, MSNBC, I'm looking at you. Yes, CNN, I've been looking at you. Fox, come on now. Fox is a whole owned subsidiary to corporate media. If it makes Rupert Murdoch $1, they gonna say it. And because Rupert Murdoch is a conservative, he's gonna give you conservative bent. His entire news organization is predicated on the political leanings of an old white man. You, again, argue with your mama, don't argue with me. CNN is owned by Warner Brothers Discovery. David Zaslav is the head of Warner Brothers Discovery. Do you think David Zaslav, a rich billionaire, gives a damn about left-leaning policies? No. So when CNN talks, it talks with the voice of the corporate overlord, David Zaslav. You have Peter Thiel, who is a rich billionaire and has brought us a lot of right-wing bull. Peter Thiel. These are the people that own your American news media. They are not in this for the truth. They are in this to make profit. There used to be a time, and this is the truth, please go look this up. There used to be a time that news divisions on television stations lost money. And it was perfectly okay because whether it was Cronkite or Brinkley or Rather or whoever, it was more important to be factual than it was to be profitable. There used to be a time in this. News divisions on ABC, NBC, and CBS never generated money. Yes, you could sell ad times on it. You could. But you were going to lose money because you had correspondents going to different places. Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, going to Germany and Italy and France, wherever the news story was, to make sure you were more informed. That's where they went. And it generated no profit because it kept the American populace smarter and more educated about the things that were going on. This is true. You can look it up. Back when there was 3 stations. At some point, the corporate overlords of companies like GE and Disney and things of that nature, they started looking at it like everything else makes us money except our news divisions. Our news divisions do not make us any money. So they took them over. They did. They took them over. And then the emphasis became less on truthfulness and more on profitability. It became less and less about, hey, we need to get these people this information out, and became more about, hey, is this story going to generate eyeballs that we can sell ad dollars on? And therefore, when we sell ad dollars, we can make profit. And when that happened, the news changed. Not to mention the fact Ronald Reagan got rid of the Fairness Doctrine. The Fairness Doctrine used to work something like this. If I came on television for 30 minutes and I told you the biggest lies I could possibly think of, I have dragons in my house and they are currently fighting with my cockroach army and we are going to take over the world. I got 30 minutes airtime to do that. Then I went off the air. There had to be an equal 30 minutes of somebody to dispute everything I had just said. Dragons do not exist. Cockroaches are not big enough to ride on dragons. And this person cannot take over the world because this, that, and the third. That used to be what was called the Fairness Doctrine. Ronald Reagan got rid of it. The first recipient of it, Rush Limbaugh. The second recipient, Rupert Murdoch. Our newspapers used to give us the who, what, where, when, why. But once again, they weren't making a whole lot of money. We're talking about newspapers that you had to go out and put quarters in machines to get. That's why right now, the New York Times, the supposed paper of record, the great gray lady, if you try to go buy a copy of the New York Times right now, you're going to spend $5 for a daily newspaper. Imagine buying the New York Times every day from Monday to Friday. Actually, let's go Monday to Sunday. Because the Sunday editions are more expensive. Imagine that. For a paper that you used to be able to pick up for 2 quarters. USA Today used to be 50 cents. I know because I used to pick up the USA Today every single day. Every single day I used to go and get a copy of the USA Today. And I would read it all the way through just so I could be more informed. Our American news media now has to make a profit. And what the first casualty of that was the inner city. The phrase, if it bleeds, it leads, became the mantra of a lot of local and national news stations. It did. It did. That's why it was better to show all the deaths in the inner city. Number one, it scared the hell out of suburban people and made them vote Republican. If you've ever seen Deep Cover, there's a white cop that says that exact same thing. And number two, it kept eyeballs on the screen. Eyeballs on the screen buy things. Profits are made. The end. What I have seen over the past couple of weeks is our American news media is hell-bent on trying to get Donald Trump reelected. Now, Joe Biden had one bad debate. One. And the news media for the past 2 weeks have hounded that man. Again, I don't agree with everything Joe Biden did. I don't agree with most of the things that Joe Biden did. But he is the president of the United States. He currently sits in the office. And he was afforded no type of respect. None. He was afforded no type of respect whatsoever. The news media hounded him. His age, his feebleness, dementia. They were bringing in doctors talking about, does he have signs of dementia? Now, mind you, the guy running against him, Donald Trump, is 4 years younger than him. And Donald Trump has been exhibiting dementia-like things for a while now. This is not a shock. Donald Trump has literally been out here saying some of the most outlandish things that on the surface, somebody should have been looking after him. But do you think they gave the level of scrutiny to Donald Trump that they did to Joe Biden? No, they didn't. They did not. And then the so-called assassination attempt happened. And there were no people coming in trying to decipher this because it looked weird. There was something staged. There was no experts, things of that nature. All they did was try to show how strong and powerful Donald Trump is after this so-called assassination attempt. We know more about the shooter, and even in that, they glossed over certain things. We know more about the shooter than we do about Donald Trump's ear. Were there any side effects? Supposedly a bullet went by this man's head. Did he have a cognitive test? Did he have a concussion test? Did anybody do any of these things? The Republican National Convention showed up. There were people on the convention floor walking around with bandages on their right ear. The news media reported it like it was just cooling the fan and never said anything about how crass and just odd it looked to have members of the RNC, the convention floor, people, attendees, walking around with bandages on the right side of their head. That's a news thing. That is something that people need to know. They hounded Joe Biden until he dropped out. And then they turned around and tried to do the mea culpa. He was a great guy, this, that, and the third. Rachel Maddow put out something about how she was going to have a show that night after he announced that he would not seek re-election. And if you go over on Threads, they let her have it. I let her have it. Because American news media is a whole subsidiary of corporate America. Corporate America is not going to give you the truth, so why would you expect corporate America's own mouthpiece, aka the news media, to do the same? Corporate America lies to you on a day-to-day basis. They lie to you about what your money is going to. They lie to you about the regulations that they've skirted. They lie to you daily because they need to make profit and you need to be in the dark. So that is why if you trust your corporate media to tell you the truth, you are going to end up in a worse situation than you are today. You need to be able to, number one, research. Again, I go back to this. Research. You are more than capable of finding out about things like Project 2025. Something the media is not talking about. Fox is not going to do one single segment on the dangers of Project 2025. If you expect it, you're stupid. That's Fox. Fox isn't going to do that. MSNBC has one anchor. One. Actually, I'll take that back. Two. Two anchors. Joy-Ann Reid, and Lawrence O'Donnell, that are journalists first, last, and always. They are going to give you the truth of the things that you need to know. There is an organization called the Heritage Foundation that is trying their damnedest to control your life. Today, the blueprint for a new America and all the shiny words that they're putting onto it is still not changing the fact that Project 2025 would like to reduce the powers of the legislative and judicial bodies, which are two of the three branches of government, and give more power to the executive branch, in this case, a Republican president. Joy-Ann Reid did an entire hour-long show about this, while the rest of MSNBC talked about the age of Joe Biden. Lawrence O'Donnell has hinted and talked about Project 2025, while the rest of MSNBC talked about the age of Joe Biden. Not the age of Donald Trump. Not the things that Donald Trump has coming out of his mouth that makes it look like he is in cognitive decline. Just Joe Biden. So this election season, you have got to do the legwork. Number one, this is what I mean when I say we get the government we deserve. A lot of you will listen to mainstream media. A lot of you will listen to talking heads and opinion people on Fox or MSNBC or CNN, and you will take your marching orders from them rather than doing the research yourself. And then when you get a government that is oppressive, when you get a government that does not do anything for you, when you find out that you have a government that has not raised the minimum wage since 2009, and they're not caring about the fact that a minimum wage job cannot afford a one-bedroom apartment in 93% of this nation, you're like, I didn't know. Of course you didn't, because you didn't do any research. That's the first point. Secondly, you have got to stop worshiping politicians. I do not worship a single solitary politician. I've said all along, Jimmy Carter is my favorite president because he was a flawed man, but he was a good man. He tried to be a good American president. And to look at Jimmy Carter and the man that replaces him shows you exactly why I say that. Jimmy Carter spent the rest of his life creating houses for Habitat for Humanity. Jimmy Carter went to different places and wrote books about the things that he saw. He was very forthright about his beliefs in different things, his faith as a Christian. He literally tried to live the life of a good Christian. He stayed with the same woman literally all of her life. He was like a toddler when she was born. And he fell in love with her. And he stayed in love with her until the day she died. So like I said, Jimmy Carter is my favorite president. However, I don't worship Jimmy Carter. I see him for the politician that he is. I think as a man, he is a very good man, but he was the president of the United States. He was a politician. I do not worship my politicians. I was never a worshiper of Bill Clinton. I was never a worshiper of Barack Obama. I wasn't a worshiper of Eisenhower or George W. or Nixon or Reagan or anything like that. These people are being hired to do a job. These people have my family's future in their hands. These people have my grandkids' future in their hands. So I'm going to do everything I need to do to find out who is it that wants the levers of power and what do they plan on doing that will affect me, my wife, my kids, my grandkids, my community, my city, my state, and my nation. I do not worship these people. I don't. A lot of you do. A lot of you probably should stop doing that. Secondly, I am not about to let the American mainstream media tell me something that I cannot research myself. I was not distracted by Biden's age. I've known Biden was old since 2020. The media has known that that man is old since 2020. Why was it a shock that an old man had a bad debate? Because the man across the, like literally standing next to him, is 4 years younger than him, and he's been having these flubs since he came on the scene in 2015. But if you notice, the media doesn't do that. They don't. So if you hear it from the media, you have a responsibility to find out whether or not it is absolutely true. You have a responsibility to do your own legwork, to do your own research on the people that want to be in charge of your life, your family's life, and your community's life. You have a responsibility to do this. You have a responsibility to do this. American mainstream media will not. And for the people across the pond, your media ain't looking that good either. It's not. It is not. Because Piers Morgan still has a job. But again, apathy is what has gotten us here. You are apathetic about who is running for public office. You are apathetic about challenging the things that you hear on the news, in the media. You pick up a newspaper, you read something, you do not challenge it. You don't do the legwork to figure out whether or not this is absolutely true, or whether or not it's gaslighting, or whether or not it's something you should be concerned about or shouldn't be concerned about. Sinclair Broadcasting owns several hundred local news stations in America. And the owners of Sinclair are hardcore rock rib Republican MAGA supporters. A lot of y'all didn't know that. I just told you something that you just learned. I just gave you some information. Now the question becomes, what exactly are you going to do with it? Are you going to do any sort of legwork, research, things of that nature to find out what on Sinclair Broadcasting is stuff that the corporate masters and overlords want you to listen to and stuff that is absolutely factual? If you are still falling for the idea that if it bleeds, it leads, you're a problem. Inner city violence, I don't care how deep off in Chicago y'all want to get, all the black on black crime in America is not going to touch somebody in a suburb of Chicago. They know that, and the people on the streets know that. So why in the world would you sit there and listen to people when they talk about black on black Chicago? Why would you do that? Why? I can tell you why I think you would. Because corporate media kept your eyeballs on there with talk of scary black men shooting other scary black men, not shooting innocent white folks in their suburban home. It's on the street. It on the street, that's it. But they will have you living in your home, terrified to go out, because all of a sudden, oh my God, black on black crime might break out. Corporate America is doing this to you. And as long as you let them, they will. Because again, they're trying to sell you something. They're looking at the profit margins. They're not looking at factual information. They are looking at the profit margin. They are. And literally, if you do not do the work that you're supposed to do to find this out, you will fall for anything. You will. Over the next coming days and weeks, there's going to be a whole lot of questions of, is America ready for a woman of color president? Do not be distracted. Do not be distracted. Let me say this again. Do not be distracted. Do not be distracted. We have had black women of color. We have had women of color running for president before. So this is not a shock. Obviously, America's ready for them because they ran. Okay? On the other side of this is a man with 34 felony convictions. This is not me making this up. This is true. This is true. This is a man whose name appears in Project 2025 69 times. Again, this is not me making this up. This is absolutely true. The Heritage Foundation has wrapped this draconian, fascist thing into the guise of the Trump campaign. This is a man who was 4 years younger than the current president of the United States. So if we need to talk about Joe Biden's dementia, then we also need to talk about Donald Trump's dementia. We need to talk about the fact that he had to go get a new vice president nominee in J.D. Vance because his supporters wanted to hang his last vice presidential person in Mike Pence. This man incited a riot. He incited an insurrection on January 6, 2021 because he lost the election to Joe Biden. He's created and frothed up a mob and they stormed the Capitol. Something that even Al-Qaeda could not do on 9/11. Corporate media is not going to tell you this. I will. Host on GCPR will, because we do not have any corporate overlords. We have the truth on our side. Here at GCPR, we believe in who, what, where, when, why. A lot of what I'm saying right now sounds like opinion. And it is. I'll give you that. But it is opinions based on factual information that you, too, can go look at. Donald Trump in Agenda 47 is talking about doing the largest mass deportation in American history. They are mimicking Operation Wetback, which was Eisenhower's immigration policy, where he deported hundreds of thousands of migrants. And Donald Trump is talking about doing something 10 times bigger than that. That is going to hit natural-born American citizens. That is going to hit naturalized American citizens. In addition to hitting these so-called illegal aliens. It is in Agenda 47. You need to look that up. That is something you need to go out and take a look at. Download Agenda 47. Download Project 2025. Project 2025 has a piece in it about veterans, reducing veterans' pay, and looking at redoing how veterans' disabilities are done so that they don't have to pay as much money. This affects veterans. Project 2025 is 920 pages. You can download it. These people were not slick. They actually put it on the internet. So it's not like you cannot find it. They want to go back to the traditional American family, 1950s style, meaning the woman stays home, the kids were obedient, and the man ran everything. They are trying to make it illegal to criticize Christianity. Again, this is in Project 2025. Please go look. Stop listening to our mainstream media, who is giving you pablum to keep you pacified so that you do not think that these elections matter and that they can get the person that their corporate owners want. Sean Hannity and Rachel Maddow serve the same purpose, the exact same purpose, to give you opinion pieces that are so-called raised in corporate speak and keep you pacified. To keep you pacified. You must be smarter than that. This election hinders on you. Again, I am voting against Project 2025 and Agenda 47. I am a one-issue voter. That's my issue. But I'm going to research, I'm going to read, I'm going to listen, I'm going to take notes, because this is one of the most important elections of my lifetime again. But this time, democracy truly is at stake. And anything that stops Project 2025, I am all for it. Don't care. If that makes me, if you want to call that bias, fine. I don't give a damn. Call it whatever you want. But that is the one thing that I am against. And I will do everything in my power to make sure that it does not come to pass. You need to do the same. This is The Sound of Coffee on GCPR. My name is Thomas Bishop, and I'm enjoying a cup of coffee in my Buddha cup. I'm trying to come in peace, but you know. Show is brought to you by Glitterwix, and the hottest and newest freshest scent on the streets. It is Villainous. Go to glitterwix.com. That is all one word. Glitterwix.com. Check out Villainous. It's only $18. It's only $18 to have your house smelling like Thomas the Villain Bishop. It's $18. Go on and get one. Stop BSing. I'm trying to convince London to make Villainous t-shirts so that way you can burn your Villainous candle while wearing a Villainous t-shirt. You know what I mean? But neither here nor there. There has been a nasty narrative that has started over the past 2 days involving black men and Kamala Harris. As a black man, I am here to dispel this right quick. You know, light work. There are a lot of, in their feelings, Drake-ass black men who are saying, we ain't vote for Kamala Harris because the black woman and blah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, yes, Kamala Harris has a history as a prosecutor in California. She does. Ain't no used to be lying, ain't no used to be hiding. None. And yes, as in her prosecutorial duties, she did lock up black men. Yes. I'm not shocked. I'm not. Some people will be turned off by that. They will. Me personally, again, Project 2025. But this narrative that black men, some black men are trying to spill about, you know, not supporting her because black women gonna need them and this, that, and the third. I'm here to dispel that right quick. If you Negroes are going to vote against your own damn best interest because she is a woman of color, you deserve every damn thing that's gonna happen to you. This is my opinion right now. I'm never going to cut my own damn throat just because my enemy wants to see me die. You can kiss my melanated ass with that. Sorry, I'm not going for it. I saw 4 videos, 4 yesterday on TikTok, 4 of them, by 4 black men all saying the exact same damn thing. And it is because these men and men that think like them are so hell-bent on trying to be like white men in the patriarchy that they are going to cut off their own damn nose to spite their stupid ass face. I'm not going to do that. I called it, and there is an episode of Enemy of the State, the podcast that I do. There is an episode called the Uncivil War. And it is about the undeclared, uncivil civil war between black men and black women. If you go look up Enemy of the State with Thomas Bishop, you can listen to it. But I talked about this. There is an undeclared, uncivil civil war between black men and black women. And it's been in place for a very long time. It's been in place since I was a child. Okay. It blew up because of social media, because now people actually get a chance to see other people talk about it and they get a chance to talk about it and things of that nature. But before, It was just conversations that were had in different places. And the uncivil civil war goes something like this. The black community has never really been a united community. Oh, sure, you can't come in here being racist. You can't do that. Because black men and black women will show up and show out and roll your ass out on a rail. We will handle that ass. We will. But once the job is done, we go after each other. Black love has been reduced to, and it's really not even a word. There's no way to describe it, but it's like we take chunks out of each other. Now, first and foremost, a lot of people are going to say, are you blaming black women for this? No, I'm not. Black women have reacted to it. There are a lot of black men who, like myself, were raised by single mothers. A lot of them. And a lot of them have never really forgiven their father, forgiven their mother, and they've carried that bitterness and things of that nature into their adult life. And if that's your personal feeling, fine. If that's how you personally feel, cool. But that's the problem. They won't keep it to themselves. They won't. And that's how you end up with black men, parading. Perfect example. I'm in an interracial marriage. I have been with my wife for going on 17 years. Well, actually over 17 years now. But we've been together as husband and wife for 17, as being in each other's life. She's my best friend. I'm her best friend for over 20 years. Okay. A lot of people in my family frown on that. You're a black man with a white woman, and I have been called a lot of things. These are my family members. I have self-esteem. I hate black women and this, that, and the third. Nobody's ever really asked me, why'd you marry her? To which I would have replied, it's because I fell in love. I didn't look at her as some damn white woman. And why is that? Because there is a lot of perception amongst people that when black folks get into interracial relationships, they have to turn around and shit on where they come from. Black man gets with a white woman, he has to talk bad about black women. Black woman gets with a white man, she has to talk bad about black men. I've never done that. I have never, ever, ever done that. Never. I have never done that. I have never felt the need to shit on black women to justify my relationship with my wife. It just never made any sense. To me, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Why do I have to dog black women to defend my marriage? I ain't got to do all of that. I've been with my wife for 17 years. She's white, and I still love me some black women. Still. Black women are the shit. Sorry. I love them. Love the hell out of them. I don't feel the need to, degrade them to justify my own marriage. And then you look at some of the black women who are married to white men. Ketanji Brown Jackson, Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, is married to a white man. She's also a judge and a Supreme Court justice. Do you think she has the time to dog black men to justify her marriage? Of course she doesn't. Because normal people don't do that. But the perception is when a black man gets with a white woman, all of a sudden he shits on where he comes from. I have never fit that bill, yet I have had to wear it. Hell, I had a family member look me in the face and say, I always thought that you got with her because you were weak and this, that. And I'm like, what? No. Got with her because I fell in love. Just goofy, old-fashioned love. The need to dog black women never came up. That was never on the menu. Oh, well, I love her. Let me go crap on black women. It was never a thing for me. But a lot of black men do. And black women naturally feel a kind of way. Because these women bring black men into this world. And then to get dogged by one of them? Like, nah. So there's anger. There's anger. But now you get into politics. On the one side is the Republican Party, which, for whatever reason, we know what reason it was Trump. We know. It was Trump. For whatever reason, they have allowed the racists and the bigots back into their party. I take that back. They've allowed them to speak. The racists and the bigots have always been in the Republican Party, despite what William F. Buckley and Barry Goldwater and Ronald Reagan and rock-ribbed conservative Republicans have tried to do. Eisenhower was supposed to be the model for Republicanism. Barry Goldwater even said it. To kick these people out, to get these people out, the John Birch Society type people, to get them out because they made the brand look bad. They were not supposed to be real conservatism. Now, does that mean that they weren't in the party? Of course they were. Strom Thurmond was a Democrat until Truman said, "Hey, we're gonna integrate the military," and all of a sudden Strom Thurmond became a Dixiecrat and he became a Republican. The party switch, people. The party switch. So the racists have always been within the Republican Party. Always. It's just now they have a microphone. They have a platform. And they're speaking. Okay? They're not being shy about how they feel about minority groups. They're not. They're not being shy about it. Oh, sure, they're going after anyone that speaks Spanish. They absolutely are. Don't get me wrong. The xenophobia is hot in the Republican Party today. Hot. Do you hear me? Hot. But that doesn't mean the racism isn't there either. I love how people say, well, the Democrats are the party of KKK. Yeah, who does the KKK support now? Right now. At this moment, at freaking 9:09 Eastern Standard Time, who does the Knights of the Ku Klux Klan support today? There was a congressperson in freaking Illinois. There was a congressperson in Illinois that, why is this happening right now? I don't understand this. This is stupid. Something's going on with the radio, ladies and gentlemen. So there's that. But anywho, so there was a congressperson, a guy running for Congress, a Republican, who was a avowed Nazi. An avowed Nazi. The man wore a swastika in front of the damn courthouse protesting having illegals and niggers here. He said it, not me. His words, not mine. His words, not mine. Okay? So this is not a shock. There's no shock involved in all of this. So I know where a lot of Republicans stand. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think it's all Republicans. There's a gentleman that follows me on TikTok, and I follow him. He's a Navy veteran. I'm an Army veteran, this, that, and the third. He is a rock-rib conservative who has already said that he is going to vote for Donald Trump. Now, I disagree with him vehemently. But I respect the fact that he is willing to have conversations as to why he wants to support Trump and why he might not support Trump depending on what he does. So there are some Republicans out there that want to have these conversations, unfortunately. That's it. Thank you, George. Arthur Joseph Jones, American neo-Nazi Holocaust denier and perennial candidate That's in the Republican Party today. That is in the Republican Party today, right now, at this moment. So knowing that, why would I be there? I can disagree with Kamala Harris as a prosecutor. I can disagree with it. But to disagree with her as a prosecutor also means I have to disagree with the laws that were put in place that made her do the things that she did as a prosecutor. Nobody wants to have that deeper conversation because kids like to call that CRT. It's not CRT, kids. It's critical race theory. It is a elected law class that talks about the racial animus that is ingrained in American law. It's not coming for your children. It doesn't want your kids' lunch money, and it's not looking up your wife's skirt. But I digress. So I know there are racists and homophobes and xenophobes and sexists, anti-Semites and Islamophobic people within the Republican Party. I know this. So until they get them the hell up out of here, you are not a viable candidate. Nothing the Republican Party can say to me would ever make me vote for them as long as those people are in there. You can talk about a big tent. I'm going to tell you there's neo-Nazis underneath this tent. Why the hell am I going to be here? But these black men will tell you they're not going to vote for Kamala Harris because of something a black woman said to them. Let me help some of you people understand something. Okay? Let me put you up on game. Get over it. Get over it. Again, I'm a one-issue voter. I am voting against Project 2025. Okay? I'm a one-issue voter. Whatever apparatus is it that is put in place for me to stop Project 2025, I am all for it. But if your ego is so wrapped up into being mad at black women, if your ego is so wrapped up in being mad because a black woman told you to get your damn shit together, wash your ass, brush your teeth, wash your face, put on some decent clothing, act like you got some damn sense, have a conversation rather than come look at my Instagram. Stop sending penis pics. Stop going sub. Stop trying to screw in the middle of the damn night. If a black woman telling you all this somehow hurts your damn feelings and you are willing to sell the damn nation short because of it, please do me a favor. Don't vote. Stay home and say nothing to us. Fill your sock filled with coconut oil. Get your ass on Pornhub and never speak to us again. Never speak to us again. We don't want to know your opinion on anything. We do not want to know your opinion on shit. If you want to tell us what kind of SPF we should put on when we go out in the sun, we're all going to tell you to shut the hell up. That's exactly what we are going to do. We are going to tell you to shut the hell up. You are willing to screw the entire nation. You're willing to screw the entire nation because your feelings are in the way. Your feelings are in the way. You are the same people that have to make a big damn deal about the fact that your ass is dating a white woman. I have been married to one for 17 years and I have never felt the need to shit on black women to justify me being with her. And you're about to screw the nation because Kamala Harris is at the head, maybe at the top of a ticket, and she's a woman of color, and oh my God, women of color made you feel bad once. I don't give a crap. I don't care. Like I said, people in my family, my own flesh and blood have hurt me more than anything by talking about my relationship. I have looked at them in the face and said, I can't even believe you just said that, man. I can't. But you know what? I don't feel the need to shit on them or any black woman alive to justify my relationship. And I'm damn sure not going to sacrifice the country, the entire country, the whole damn country, because of my feelings, because some family member said something bad about my wife. I'll be damned. I will be damn. My ego does not need to be scrubbed and touched that fucking much. Excuse my French. I'm sorry. I know. No profanity before 8 a.m. Before 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I apologize. That is on me. Is not reflective of the management of GCPR. However, I'm going to continue. There's a hell of a lot more at stake in this day and time than your fragile ass ego. You don't want to vote with black women, fine. But vote against Project 2025. Vote against Agenda 47. You ain't got to stand in solidarity with black women. Black women, I have said this before and I will continue to say it, black women saved this democracy over and over and over again. Black women are the ones that downloaded Project 2025, read it and said, nah, son, we ain't letting this happen. Black women are the ones that read Agenda 47, looked at it and said, nah, son, we ain't gonna let this happen. Black women vote overwhelmingly on the side of democracy because they realize in the ladder that is America, they are on the lowest rung, closest to the water. And anything that they do or don't do is going to get them closer to getting their ass eaten up by a shark. So they will continue to vote for democracy. They will continue to vote for their communities. They will continue to vote for their families. They will continue to vote for the heart and soul of America. So no, fragile ass black men, they don't need you. They don't. You declaring on videos that you're not going to stand with black women and support Kamala Harris is doing absolutely nothing. You might as well fart in the wind to see how loud you can hear it. It matters for nothing. It doesn't. But I'm going to tell you, as a black man, as a voting black man in the United States, if your punk ass ego gets us all screwed, I bet not hear a single thing from you. At that point, I'm gonna start smack shit at you. Well, you know, black women, the reason that, pow! Shut up. Shut up. Shut the hell up. Your stupid ass ego got us Agenda 47. I don't want to hear shit. I don't. Keep your mouth closed. Go get a plane ticket and get your passport all the way up out of America. And don't come back. Shut the door on the way out. I'll be damned if I'm going to sacrifice America, the future of my kids and grandkids, my nieces, my nephews. I'm going to sacrifice that because, oh wow, a black woman made me feel a kind of way? You're an idiot. You don't deserve to be able to vote in the first place. That's about the stupidest reason for wanting to cut off. It ain't even cutting off your nose to spite your face. It's like cutting off your nose, your eyebrows, and your damn ears to spite your tongue. What kind of stupidness is that? We ain't gonna support it because remember when black women said they didn't need us? They still don't. But you should be smart enough to vote for your own damn best interest, if nothing else. Some of y'all got family right now that will be completely affected by Project 2025. You got a gay cousin. Project 2025 is going to affect him. You got a veteran cousin. Project 2025 is going to affect them. You got sisters that are still within the age of having children and body autonomy and privacy. Project 2025 is going to affect them. You might think you want a piece of the white patriarchy, but please understand, the people that are bringing you this have neo-Nazis and white supremacists in the party, and they still don't like your black ass. Still. They don't like nothing about you. And you're willing to try to sup and sit at the table and be accepted by these people because black women hurt your damn feelings? Then do us all a favor. Don't vote. Stay home. But if it comes back and bites you in the ass, I bet not hear a damn thing. That's when people should legally start smacking the shit at you. I didn't know. Yes, you did. If you got enough time to research why you don't like black women, you had enough time to research Project 2025. And if it happens, somebody should smack shit at you. Right in your jaw meat. Tichish. Because you need to be justified and feel special. Get over it. Forgive your mother and father. They were flawed human beings. They did the best they possibly could. Maybe your father was in the picture and he just wasn't a great father. Maybe your father was out of the damn picture. Your mom working her ass off. Or not. Who knows? but forgive them and get on with your damn life. You want to date a white woman? Date one and shut up. I told you there ain't but 2 rules. There's 2 rules to interracial dating. Date who you want, shut the F up. Those are the only 2 rules. You do not have to shit on black women to justify being with a white woman. That I'm trying to tell you. I've been with one for as a husband and wife for 17 years. And I'll be damned if not having my ego stroked by black women is going to somehow make me forget that I live in the United States and black women, black men, black children, black elderly, black gays, black days, black trans people will be affected by Project 2025. I'll be damned if I'm going to sit up here and let that happen. You got your rabbit ass mind. So stop making the videos. We get it. You don't want to vote with black women. Fine. Cool. Great. Fantastic. Much like interracial relationships, shut the hell up. Keep your mouth closed. Keep your damn mouth closed. We don't need to hear from you. We don't. In fact, it would be really, really nice if you said nothing to any of us. Because you're going to allow your dumbass ego to screw the entire nation, because you feel a kind of way. What the hell kind of crap is that? But cool. You don't want to vote with black women who are overwhelmingly supporting Kamala Harris? Fine. Try to go over there with them Trump supporters. Try it. Does anybody remember the gay black man, Rob Smith? Full-on MAGA, gay black man, Rob Smith. Do y'all remember what happened to him when he went over to a rally, a MAGA rally? They called him all kinds of racial slurs and gay slurs. Then, instead of going on Fox News, who don't give a damn, he took his ass to CNN. What happened to Jussie Smollett wasn't real. What happened to me was real. Leopard ate that face, huh? There's a beautiful sister named Francesca on TikTok who has made a song called Leopards Would Eat My Face. And number one, Francesca can sing. She has the voice of an angel. And the song is so on point that it's not even funny. And every time one of these marginalized community, but I want to be Republican MAGA people have something happen to them, here comes Francesca. I never thought the leopard would eat my face. Whoa, I never thought the leopards would eat my face. You have to go watch her in her element. And like I said, her name is Francesca. Beautiful black woman, can sing her ass off. But every single time you see her singing Leopards Would Eat My Face, it's usually somebody in a marginalized community that tried to get along with Republicans in a racist party. So I'm going to say this one more again. If you are a black man and you are hell-bent on not voting with black women to save democracy against Project 2025, much like interracial relationships, shut the hell up about it. Like I said, I've had family members say some really disrespectful things to me because I am married to my wife. And I have yet to think of them in terms of, screw that, I'm going to go vote against their best interest. Because I have common damn sense. Common sense. And I'll be damned if I'm going to let my ego screw this country. It's not happening. And if you let that happen, if you put your ego above the good of the country, including your own family and their future, kiss my ass. Kick rocks with tube socks. That's how I feel. Kick rocks in tube socks. Go to the beach. Go to the rockiest part of a beach and kick rocks in tube socks. That's how I feel. So we're at the last half, And I watched House of the Dragon last night, or yesterday. Hey, C Smoke said, we together now. Listen. I don't know what that black man's name is. But Corliss Valerian is really trying to do good by his illegitimate children, who look just like him. I'm sorry, them boys look just like him. I don't know if the actor's related to these two young men, but damn it, they look just like him. Like they could be brothers or something, or father and son, whatever. Anyway, so they tried. Rhaenyra tried to find somebody to be a dragon rider, and poor Darkling, poor Darkling, he really tried. C Smoke came up and was like, "Who this?" And he's speaking old Valerian to him. And at first I was like, yo, he did it, man. He done tamed this dragon. C Smoke said, if you don't get your ass out of my face, straight barbecue. Cooked that man he cooked that man in that man armor. Just cooked him. And then flew off. Just flew off. You know what I mean? And there's this poor black man out here just, collecting stuff on the beach. See smoke fly fast. He looks at the dragon. See smoke said, you! They was on, listen, C Smoke was on that black man ass, you know what I mean? Like he was on him. Come here. C Smoke played Norbit. You got a girlfriend? Nope. You do now. Like, listen. C Smoke was like, stop playing with me. It's you and me, dog. It's you and me. That black man is scared as hell. I'd have been scared too. I'm over here minding my own damn business, chilling. All of a sudden, a freaking dragon shows up. And it's like, you gonna ride me. Hey, yo! Hey, yo! Kumite! Man, look, C Smoke was like, nah, son, you ain't doing nothing else today. You my rider. Rhaenyra tried to get it in with the creepy Shay chick, which, I mean, Damon is out here, reliving all of his greatest hits in Harrenhal. I don't see why not. Get it in, Rhaenyra. You need stress relief just like everybody else, right? But their plan worked. They sent food. I knew this was gonna happen. I was just waiting on it. Because I don't care what's going on in the Red Keep. If you feed the people, you got the people. And sure enough, that's exactly what she did. They sent boatloads of food. Okay? I thought it was just one boat. I was like, damn, Rhaenyra, you cheap mofo. But no. There were hundreds of those boats. It was like, well, not hundreds. I'll say like 20, 25, 30, 35 of those boats filled with food. And then people was out there getting it in. They're like, give me that food. Oh man, the guy with the daughter who was sick, who, by the way, I said this before, that is a hell of an actor. He was in Warrior. If you've never seen Warrior, number one, I don't know why. I have no idea. Warrior is one of the best television shows that was on. You know what I mean? Like, I love Warrior. I love the TV show Warrior. It's on Netflix. You should go watch all 3 seasons. And there should have been more, Max. There should have been more. You out here giving us Paranormal Activity and you cancel Warrior, you backstabbing sons of bitches. There should have been more. That storyline at the end of season 3 should have been finished out. I was ready for it. You mofos canceled it. You bastards. We need at least one more season. At least one more. Finish it out. You got 3 seasons now. Give us 4. Give us one more. Netflix, get on it. the show is produced by Shannon Lee, who is the daughter of Bruce Lee. So that's how good the show is. But anyway, the actor in that show is also in House of the Dragon. He's a damn good actor. He really is. He doesn't look out of place anytime. Any place, anytime, right? But anyway, so Rhaenyra sends some food. And Alicent and Helena, why you out exposed buck ass in these streets, B? Especially when the food comes. What, boy? What? Hold on. I swear, everybody thinks this is a hobby. Like, they don't look at it as this is the job that I do every day. They just go, oh, well, you know, guys, Baba's just in there talking into a camera. But anyway, so why would you get put in these streets? Yes, boy. Yes. So why would you be out in these streets with out here buck ass when people wasn't eating? Like, you're not safe in these streets, B. They was out there just, oh, well, you know, we're not feeding anybody. Screw them. Like, excuse me? And then when Rhaenyra brings in the food pack, these streets is eating? Oh, no, you ain't safe out here, dog. You food. Free eats. Somebody called Alicent the queen of fishes, and then I think she threw an octopus or something in her face. Because Alicent had stuff all on her face. Her and Helena was running through these streets, boy. Running through these streets. Yes, Donnie, I am digging the SummerSlam card. And the biggest one right now we know is going to be Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk with Seth Rollins as a special guest referee. I can't wait. Boy, what? Yes, you can. God, boy, the white man. Anywho, but yeah, I'm really digging it. I can't wait for that McIntyre versus Punk match. I just hope Punk stays healthy. I really, really want him to stay healthy because he deserves this run. And if he stays healthy, he might finally get the one thing that has eluded him his entire career, and that is a WrestleMania main event. And I want that for him. I do. Dead ass, no pull. But anyway, so Rhaenyra brings out this food pack. It's feeding the streets of the Red Keep. It's feeding the streets of King's Landing. People out here eating, B. They eating. And then Alicent and Helena come out there. They free eats, dog. Aemon tried to kill his brother, man. You know, Aemon tried to kill his brother. I know a lot of people are going to be mad that I say that, but Aemon tried to kill Aegon just so that he can be in the position that he's in right now. He tried to kill him. And basically, I think he kind of told him. I guess he kind of told him because Aegon don't remember nothing. I don't remember. Right? So, Aemon comes in and is just messing with him. You fought valiantly. You were taken down by dragon fire from Alexis. No, bruh. Your own brother burned you up. I'm just trying to help you. Your own brother burned you up. This is wild. Just trying to help you out, dog. House of the Dragon, Donnie. It's House of the Dragons on Max. Warrior is on Netflix. You really should watch it. The main character in Warrior is probably my favorite actor right now. And because he was also in Peaky Blinders. And I personally suggested that he should be the next James Bond. Throw everybody off. An Asian actor with a British accent playing James Bond. Oh my goodness. America, the world would have snapped. You would have seen white people's heads explode. What? Anyway, so Aegon is not going to be able, Aegon looks bad. Aegon looks cooked. And I mean that literally and figuratively. He looks cooked, right? And Aemon is taking control. He really is. You know, he done sent Sir Criston Cole out again to take Harrenhal, which, by the way, how you have a whole damn castle that acts like LSD? The whole castle, the entirety of Harrenhal is like LSD. You start hallucinating and seeing stuff, you know, like you be out here just, whoa, snap, wait a minute. And in this week's Daemon Does Harrenhal, he's reliving the times with his brother. Now, as a person with a brother who I love dearly, I call him the best man I've ever known, and I mean that. And when I die, I will still admire him as the best man I've ever known. So my brother and I's relationship is really good. We're cool, we laugh, we joke, share stories, things of that nature. I keep trying to get him on the radio station so that people get a chance to hear his voice, but you know, my brother's also he's a very quiet, private person. But anyway, so I understand the power of brotherly love. Viserys and Daemon did not really have that relationship. They did. They didn't really have that relationship. And it is to the detriment of both of them that their relationship turned out the way it did. Daemon thought he should be next in line for the Iron Throne. Viserys knew that he was a hothead, things of that nature. So their relationship was always strained. But in these flashbacks, what we're starting to see is that Daemon felt it just as bad as Viserys did. You know, Daemon now realizes all the things that he lost when he wasn't really close with his brother. You know, he should have been his brother's shield. Just like his brother should have been his sword, but they did not have that sort of relationship. And now Daemon is starting to realize, you know, his pursuit of the Iron Throne and his anger towards Rhaenyra being named as the heir really affected and took a toll on his relationship, not only with Rhaenyra, who was his niece and is now his wife, and they have kids together, but also his relationship with Viserys, his older brother, who had Daemon thought in the best interest of the family, rather than in his own selfish needs, Viserys would have, you know, we wouldn't be in the situation we're in right now if Daemon had been Viserys' right hand. You know, Otto Hightower could not have gotten away with half the bull that he did had Daemon been there. If Daemon had been there and his brother died, the very first thing he's going to remember is, hey, remember when my brother said Rhaenyra is the queen? Say something so I can cut you up. And he's got Caraxes, and Caraxes with his bloodworm neck, he would have been like, hey, anybody want some of this work? Who want this work? Who want this work, baby? Baby, hey, who want this work? I'll burn you. I got this long-ass neck. I'll burn you. But Daemon didn't do that. So Daemon is still in Harrenhal, reliving all of his worst aspects. But the Tully is dead. And the new Tully is a kid. And the weird witch woman that works in Harrenhal, who likes owls for some reason, she's OV-ho, OV-ho, OV-ho. Anyway, she told him wait 3 days. So now Daemon has to wait 3 more days in Harrenhal, which is LSD in castle form. You know what I mean? Like, he's got to stay there for 3 more days until something happens. So, Alicent. Good old Alicent. She is now starting to really realize that don't nobody give a damn about her ass. She has no pull whatsoever with the small council. She cannot stop her son Aemon from doing the things that he is doing because Aemon is a madman and he just wants to fight his uncle. She is trying to heal her other son, Aegon. The people don't like her. The people don't like her family. They're now rooting for Rhaenyra openly. And she's realizing it's all her fault. So much like that CapCut meme, surprise, 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 surprise. Yes, Alicent, you set this up. It's your fault. What you mad about? Girl, what you crying about? this is what you wanted. When you sat there and heard a fairy tale from your dying husband and you set this all in motion, it's now your fault. Oh, and she can't find Otto. Otto is out here in these streets buck ass. I sent ravens to my father and he's never answered. Her brother is really mad because he didn't get a chance to come to court rather than her. You know what I mean? Because if Alicent's older brother had showed up, Viserys would have been okay with it. Viserys dies. Rhaenyra becomes queen. The Hightower boy becomes king regent. Oh, what are you mad about? And finally, there's a dragon in the Vale. There's a dragon in the Vale. It's burning up crops and animals because there's a dragon in the Vale. And I guess her name is Rhaenys. I guess. I don't know. Told you. The Targaryens suck at naming their children. I would not be sitting here with the Viseryses and the Daemons and Aemons and Aegons and all this other stuff if the Targaryens had just said, hey, that little girl name, that's Julia. Julia Targaryen. Hey, Julia, we're going to send you off to the Vale. Sure, stepmother Marie Targaryen. Like, no, they want to Rhaenys and Benice. Anyway, I don't know who that girl is, but she's going to find that dragon. She's out there. She's going to hunt down this wild, untamed beast. And mind you, there's a dragon called the Cannibal. It's untamed, it's wild, and no one knows where it is. No one. It's just chilling, out there flying. It's called the Cannibal. And it really doesn't matter. All these cool names for all these cool dragons. Vhagar is a flying aircraft carrier. It's the shield helicarrier and it spits hot fire. So regardless, it doesn't matter. Vhagar will come in, burn up everything, but Vhagar's old. Vhagar is old. Very, very old. But it's also quite large. It's a damn aircraft carrier with a dragon fire. So it's going to be some problems, going to be some situations, issues, things of that nature. Can't wait till next week. There was a shooting. A woman by the name of Sonia Massey is dead at the hands of police. The story was there was a boiling hot pot of water on her stove, and the police were there. She goes to put the water off the stove. And the cop says, put the pot down, pulls his weapon, shoots her 3 times. Sonia Massey is dead. I watched the body cam footage yesterday. And there is absolutely no reason that woman is dead. None. The distance between her kitchen, where this boiling hot pot of water was, to the cop who pulled his weapon, it wasn't inches, it was feet away. At least 12 to 13 feet away. One cop, the one whose body cam we did get, was looking around when this other cop pulled out his weapon and ordered her to put the pot down, and then shot her 3 times. Sonia Massey should be alive today, but she is not. And there will be complete qualified immunity for this cop. This cop was able to go home that night to his family after executing a woman for a hot pot of water. This is what black folks wanted to stop from happening. This is what the George Floyd Fairness in Policing Act would have stopped from happening. Sure, the cop could have probably still done it, but he would have been arrested. He would not have had qualified immunity. The I feared for my life thing would not have worked. And Sonia Massey's death would not have been in vain. Unfortunately, that is not how America operates. And Sonia Massey is dead. The body cam footage is disturbing, but then again, all body cam footages of black folks being gunned down is disturbing. This woman did not have a weapon on her. She was literally taking the hot pot of water off of the stove. And the cop at one point says, "I will shoot you in your," got his gun, and shoots her 3 times. This is where the anger and disrespect for black people come from. This is the part. Because he can shoot a woman with a hot pot of water, and there will still be somebody asking, what did she do? What do you mean, what did she do? She took a hot pot off the stove. We're talking about hot water. Not nickels, not hot knives. A pot of hot water. And the distance between her and the cop that ended her life was far enough that even if she did decide to throw that water, it wouldn't have hit him. Even if she had thrown the pot, it still wouldn't have hit him. That's how far away from her he was. And he still shot her dead. Black folks are tired of shit like this. We are tired of it. We are tired of having these things played in our face and then watch as these killers get off scot-free. A few months ago, an airman in the United States Air Force was killed when the police, who covered up his peak hole, who beat on his door, and who announced they were police, well, not even announced, I don't think they ever did announce that they were police. In fact, I'm pretty sure they didn't. Shot him to death because he came to his front door with a weapon. And there were people instantly asking, what did he do? What did he do? This is the part that pisses off black people. This is the part that breaks our hearts. Because I have said this before. So this will be the first time I've ever said this on this radio show. First they kill the body. Then they kill the reputation. The very moment you hear the words, what did they do, in regards to a dead black person who was killed at the hands of the cop, you realize the reputation destroying has begun. There will be justifications for Sonia Massey dying. She had a hot pot of water that could have severely burned him. And that the cop had to shoot her. And then, when things like what happened to Sonia Massey happen, these things end up going to a prosecutor who will never prosecute because they have to work with these same cops. Their friendship matters more than the law. And then the cop is able to just go back to work. A little bit of administrative leave with pay. Or if they're fired with pay. Or like in the case of Daniel Shaver, the cop gets paid by tax dollars a 6-figure payoff for the inconvenience of killing a man, being fired for your reckless actions. You get a 6-figure payoff. And by the way, Daniel Shaver was a white man. Something a lot of these people who like to ask, what did they do? Or why are you all complaining about police killings when you kill yourself, when you kill each other? Or my personal favorite, if you don't do the crime, you won't have to end up in that situation. See, those people will hear the story of what Sonia Massey did, and they will blame everybody except the cop that took her life. So, the body cam footage is available if you want to watch it. I do not. But I do know this. This is what black people are mad about. This is what black people are mad about. This is what it is. Make no mistake about it. This is what black people are mad about. And it is the fact that they will question the dead person and ask, what did they do? Rather than looking at the body cam footage realistically and seeing that the cop had absolutely no reason to do what he did to Sonia Massey. And they will blame her for her own death. It's disgusting. It is heartbreaking. And it shouldn't have happened. Sonia Massey should be alive today. And she is not. Over a hot pot of water. We just passed the 10-year anniversary of the choking death of Eric Gardner, whose last words were, "I can't breathe." We live in a time after the choking of George Floyd, who called for his mother and his last words were, "I can't breathe." We live in a time where Breonna Taylor was murdered in her own house, where a Tatiana Jefferson was shot while playing video games with her nephew, where Sandra Bland was killed while in police custody. First they kill the body, then they kill the reputation. Rest in peace, Sonia Massey. Go to glitterwix.com. Pick yourself up Villainous. Newest, hottest, freshest scent on these candled streets. Inspired by yours truly, Thomas the Villain Bishop. It's $18. Get yourself a candle. I know some of y'all love lighting candles because you don't want to pay them light bills. Might as well light up some Villainous and smell some teak wood, some cinnamon. It's how I smell. I just want y'all to know. It's inspired by me because that's how I smell. Okay. Woo! This has been a show, boy. Woo! It's been a show. I've been cutting in and out on the radio. Hey, George, we got to figure out what the hell just happened, dog. Because I was on a roll and then it was like connecting. I want to thank all of y'all for being in the chat. You guys are great. You guys are absolutely great. I want to thank you guys for listening. And as I always say, may your day be as sweet as the coffee in your cup. One day there will be villain coffee for the sound of coffee. George and myself are in contact with a coffee company that makes coffee for people and you sell it. So yes, you will be helping this show. If you also want to help this show, go to patreon.com/Thomas the Villain Bishop. Donate as little as $3 a month. I am getting with my manager Huma so we can actually start giving you guys some merch and some swag and things of that nature over on patreon.com/Thomas the Villain Bishop. Hey, if you just want to give a brother $5-10 just to buy a cup of coffee, go to my Cash App, Mr. Bishop 3687. Capital M in Mr., capital B in Bishop, all one word, 3687. Drop your boy $5-10. We can buy a cup of coffee. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been The Sound of Coffee. My name